Hello, friends. It is good to be with you today. This week in church, we are thinking about the new year. Happy New Year, by the way. It is now 2021. Can you believe that? I don't know about you, but I am certainly quite glad to see 2020 go. It has been a hard year. It's also Epiphany Sunday this Sunday. And so we're thinking about the way that we sort of move through time and move through transitions, and the ways in which that love and that God move with us through all these transitions and seasons and holidays as they come and go. There are things that stay the same, like love. We have so many choices about what we want to pick up and put down in these seasons of our lives. So all of these themes will be reflected in the service this week, as well as this story that I have to share with you. It's one of my favorite wisdom tales. It's from the Zen Buddhist tradition, and it's called Still Carrying Her. Once, two Buddhist monks were on a journey to a distant monastery when they came to a river. There on the bank sat a young woman. "I beg you," she asked, "could you please carry me across? The current is strong today, and I'm afraid I might be swept away." The first monk remembered his vows, never to look at or to touch a woman. And so, without so much as a nod, he crossed through the heavy, flowing currents and soon reached the other side. The other monk showed compassion. He bent down so that the woman could climb up on his back to cross the river. Although she was small, the current was strong, and the rocky bottom made it difficult to cross the river. Reaching the other side, he let the woman down off of his back, and he went on his way. A few hours later, journeying down the dusty road in silence, the first monk could no longer contain his anger at the second for breaking his vows. "How could you look at that woman?" he blurted out. "How could you touch her, let alone carry her across the river? You've put our reputation as monks at stake." The first monk looked at his companion and smiled. "I put that woman down, way back there at the riverbank. But I see that you are still carrying her." The end. So the first monk crossed, left her on the riverbank, and the second monk decided, even though it was technically against his vows as a monk, he chose compassion and he chose love. And so he chose to help the woman cross the stream, and then he put her down and he moved on. It was the first monk that crossed the river who didn't help, who hung on to this idea of breaking vows and who couldn't let it go. And he suffered because of that. He suffered in anger and frustration, whereas the monk who had helped wasn't suffering because he let it go. He put her down and he moved on. And so the reason I chose this story is because it reminds me of these moments of transition. For example, the new year or a new season, whether it is the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day or a birthday or a new season like winter, spring, summer, and fall. And how these are all opportunities to not just pick something up, but to let something go, to put something down. Maybe that's not serving you, or that's not enriching your life, not making your life more joyful or more loving. I think a lot of people around the new year decide they want to take on something, like they want to eat healthier or exercise more or make a sort of choice or change a behavior. And that's okay. That is okay. Some people choose to do that. Others don't. But another way to think about the new year is to wonder, to be curious about perhaps what do I want to put down? What am I still carrying that I could have left at the riverbank? So this week, as we move forward into this first week of the year 2021, I invite you to think about not only what you might pick up, but what you might be ready to leave at the riverbank. I will be thinking about this as well, and I look forward to hearing what you decide. So all of you, please take good care this week and know that I and all of us at the church are thinking of you and holding you in our hearts with so much love. Many blessings on your week.